Hey everyone, Victoria English, top coach with Project 90. What if I offered you a drink, not from your favorite bottle of wine or hard alcohol or beer? What if I offered you a drink from the fountain of youth? What would that be worth to you? Well, I like to think that's what I do for our members over here at Project 90. I'm going to tell you why in this episode. So you're going to want to listen in to this one. Before we get started, my regular reminder that we have the Alcohol Freedom Formula available to you for a free download. Simply go to alcoholfreelifestyle.com and you will find the download. You'll also find a link to book a free call with me or one of our other amazing coaches. A 15-minute chat doesn't cost you anything, and it could change your life. That is no understatement. Just simply go to the link, schedule a call, no obligation, it's free. We'll see if you are a fit for our program. As you've heard me say, we're not for everyone, and that's all right. We serve a specific type of community, but we like to think that we are the premier path to achieving long-term power over alcohol. So I look forward to the opportunity to speak with you. So back to that fountain of youth thing. Sounds like a bold statement, doesn't it? But I stand by it. I'll share a little about my experience. I've touched on this in some other episodes, but my background is in dietetics and exercise physiology. I've been a wellness professional most of my life now. I started studying it at 19? I am now 51. So I know a thing or two, and you would think with all that knowledge, I wouldn't have fallen into the habit of drinking too much on a regular basis. Actually, not even regular, far too often. But I did. This can happen to anyone, even the most health-conscious person. It has nothing to do with our character or our values. It's a highly addictive drug. So the good news is there's a way out of it, and science supports our methodology. Science also supports the impact that alcohol has on our entire body. When I finally put this nonsense behind me, it was amazing how my body knew how to heal. I had always been very, very fit, low body fat, great muscle tone, very active. As I progressed into my drinking habit, I was still very fit, but the workouts had gone more from enjoyment to penance to burn off the calories from the day before. 600 calories in a bottle of wine. I mean, I went through one of those like it was nothing. Plus all the extra food that you eat, right? I certainly wasn't having a nice healthy salad. I'd have things like cheese and crackers and pizza and whatever was around, right? So it was really starting to add up. Even though my weight was okay, I knew it was less than ideal. I also knew that I had a thicker middle and my face was puffy. So I would work out more. I would drink even more green juice. But you can't out-nutrition or out-exercise the effects of alcohol. And so I started spending money on all sorts of stuff that, with my background, I knew it wasn't going to work, but I was, deluding myself about more than one thing back then. So I had this belt I would wear around my stomach. I had bands next to my desk and in my bathroom that I would use. I'd do bicep curls while I was brushing my teeth, anything to try to stay ahead of this damage. When I was diagnosed with breast cancer, I was 47. So I was in the throes of perimenopause. And for any of you ladies listening who are either in this or have gone through this, you know what I'm talking about. It is really hard on our body. I was having incredible mood swings, night sweats, fluid retention. It was pretty miserable. Yet I was drinking on top of that. So that certainly didn't help. Part of my treatment was to have a hysterectomy. And I thought, oh, I am going to be in so much trouble. I will never get my health back. I'm never going to look good again. So I went through that surgery, and it did take my body a while to recover from all of my treatment. But during that time, I also finally found long-term power over alcohol. And I learned some compassion and some grace with myself, which I got to be honest, I really didn't have before my diagnosis. I learned to just trust that my body was going to know what to do. Just like it healed my stitches and my immune function, I knew that deep down that I could trust my body to take care of me. I also knew that because I had stopped putting this toxin into my body, I stood a better than average chance of feeling all right again. So I was patient. Well, the craziest thing happened. After all those years of pushing myself and trying to maintain weight, lose weight, the same 10 pounds up and down and up and down, I found that I was losing weight effortlessly. Now, I've never been an overeater. Thankfully, my only vice has been wine. So by choosing healthy food and slowly returning to exercise, and I mean just walks, I couldn't even dream of working out hard. And on some days, I still can't. I'm still dealing with side effects from my treatment. The scale started to show an improvement. My skin started to really look good. I had no bloat. I was sleeping really well. All the things that you hear about that after menopause, they're shot. You're going to gain weight. You're going to look old. You're going to sleep terribly. You're going to be moody and miserable. I was actually feeling really balanced and well in my body and well in my mind. So ultimately, here I am a few years later, and I maintain a healthy diet. I do not deprive myself. I've mentioned my penchant for chocolate. I do like high quality chocolate, Greek frozen yogurt bars, things like that. Nothing crazy, but guess what? If I'm out with a friend on their birthday, I'll have something delicious, cheesecake or something that's a real treat. I don't deprive myself. I work out moderately, not too hard. I have to be careful with my joints. I have some lung scarring from radiation, but I push myself. In fact, I was talking to James earlier. I just got a PR on my Peloton for the first time in a while since having COVID. So, again, the body's ability to restore itself. And you guys, I'm 22 pounds lighter than I was in my 40s when I was drinking. Isn't that something? So it's not just the 600 some calories I'm saving per day by not drinking alcohol. It's that my whole body runs the way it's supposed to. It runs efficiently and effectively. That feels really, really good to know that I am supporting my body and mind as best I can. I don't try to be perfect. Like I said, I treat myself now and then, but everything just seems so much easier now. I have less stress in my life because I had 99 problems and about 85 of them went away when I quit drinking. So I'm not using food to soothe myself. I've learned healthy coping skills when I stopped drinking, the ones that we help you learn in Project 90. So whenever I do feel stress, I realize it's just a normal human experience. It's not amplified because I'm coming off of alcohol. It's, I accept my feelings now. All feelings are okay. They're all to be tolerated. We have an intolerance to discomfort after we've been drinking for a while. And so emotions can feel really huge and overwhelming. But again, I go back to the science. A lot of that is just your brain and body returning to homeostasis, its natural state of being. And we help you over those humps while your body and brain heal. But let's talk a little about those systems in the body and why giving up alcohol is the fountain of youth. So get yourself a big glass of something hydrating and refreshing, and let's go over these things. You know, I love to talk about the science. You can't dispute it. And I just love that. It takes some of the emotion out of it and just helps us go, yeah. So the brain and the nervous system. Well, that system is probably most affected by alcohol. To put it bluntly, alcohol can wreak havoc on the nervous system. Our nerve messages are transmitted differently. It becomes overly excited. That's part of why you feel withdrawal. And then you hear me talk about neuroplasticity when it comes to stopping drinking. But that also happens when we become so accustomed to drinking. The neuroplasticity impacts our nervous system. So we can become so used to using alcohol that it becomes challenging to cut down or cut it off. So it leads us into this vicious cycle until eventually we usually end up drinking just to feel normal. I don't know where each of you might be in your drinking cycle or progression, but if you scoff at people who take sips of alcohol through the day to get through, don't scoff, because the natural progression of drinking is very likely to lead you there if you're not there already. And again, it's nothing about your character or your self-discipline. It's simply the nature of the beast. Sooner or later, you'll be drinking earlier and earlier, just so you can feel normal, so that your nervous system can settle down a little bit. You can take a deep breath after that one.
Is it time to give your liver a break? Have you been punishing your liver for many years with seemingly innocent alcohol use? If so, I invite you to show your liver some love by enjoying natural supplements from my supplements company, Swan Vitality. The Swan Vitality Liver Cleanse contains my own concentrated formula of powerful natural antioxidants scientifically designed to cleanse the liver and support blood circulation. Just take 3 capsules every day with your evening meal with a half glass of water, and you will love the results you will see and feel. Swan Vitality is 100% natural, safe, and effective. To get started on your Swan Vitality journey, I'm inviting you to enjoy 15% off your first order. Just go to swanvitality.com and use the code James at checkout. That's swanvitality.com. Use the code James at checkout to trigger your 15% off.
The kidneys. Well, kidneys are affected almost as soon as we ingest alcohol. There's hormones that monitor the fluid level in the body. And when we drink, it causes increased urination and increased dehydration. Alcohol also makes it more difficult for the kidneys to filter the blood. And that's the worst outcome of alcohol use on the kidneys. That means that small amounts of toxins are likely to stay in your body, which causes you an overall feeling of unwellness, of feeling unwell, of malaise. So you may identify with this, that even if you haven't had a drink for a little while, you still feel kind of puny because you've got toxins being held. Let's move on to the pancreas. That's a digestive organ. It helps us break down and process food. When we're drinking, pancreatic cells metabolize alcohol into toxic byproducts that can damage the pancreatic ducts. That's where the enzymes are released into the stomach. So those enzymes remain inside the pancreas and begin to digest the pancreas itself. That sounds so terrible, doesn't it? this beautifully packaged poison that is supposed to make our lives so much better does that. So that can lead to the nausea, digestive problems. Are you familiar with those? That can also lead to some poor eating choices, can it? Lots of carbs, things to make you feel better, trying to settle yourself. And of course, you've all heard of pancreatitis. That's life-threatening. That's if this goes to the extreme, which I pray never happens to any of you. I have seen people with pancreatitis, and it is a horrible thing to witness. And I hope that no one who cares about you ever has to witness that. I'm very grateful that I never suffered something like that. The skin, oh goodness. Do you wake up after a morning of drinking with splotchiness, bloodshot eyes? Ooh, what a feeling. Dry skin. Well, that's because of the dilation in the blood vessels that brings the blood to the surface of the skin. And because alcohol is inflammatory, it also acts as a vasoconstrictor. So your poor little blood vessels in your face are dilating and constricting, dilating and constricting. That can cause permanent damage as those blood vessels eventually just break. You've likely seen people with a long, long history of drinking. Not even that long for some people. A lot of it depends on your skin, but they have those red lines on their nose, maybe their cheeks. Yeah. Can't really buy enough makeup to cover that kind of stuff up, right? And then of course it's dehydrating, so your skin doesn't look as good. Makeup, if you're wearing makeup, tends to settle in the creases more easily. Alcohol is so inflammatory, it can even lead to acne, cystic acne in adults. Well, that just seems unfair, doesn't it? We've all gone through puberty. But yeah, indeed, it can bring back pimples, and the real bad kind that can leave scarring. It's interesting, isn't it, that they market alcohol as such a magical elixir. And in the next ad, you'll see magical creams targeting anti-aging. Can you imagine if alcohol marketers had to try and sell their products with the truth being out there? What would they have to say and do? The heart. Well, the heart and the nervous system are both affected by alcohol, and the heart is affected kind of in tandem with the nervous system. Have you guys experienced tachycardia from drinking? That's an increase in your heart rate too fast. What about a heart rhythm arrhythmia? People can have that. There's a word for it. I'm trying to remember. I'll have to think about it. It's where there's a name for it. It's something cute, but it's not cute at all. It's the arrhythmia that is caused by a night of drinking. Have you guys ever had that? You wake up and you feel like your heart's going to burst out of your chest. And, that can be really dangerous, the arrhythmia and the tachycardia, for people who already may have some blood pressure issues, heart issues, which, again, guess what? Alcohol raises blood pressure. And that can be, you can go as a person who has a normal blood pressure to a person with elevated blood pressure. And then you remove the alcohol, and suddenly they're okay. They're back in the normal range. Let's move on to the digestive system. I mentioned that just a moment ago, but did you know that alcohol, even small amounts of alcohol, it can upset your stomach, your intestines. It can also disrupt the absorption and processing of nutrients. So here I was, this nutrition whiz. I knew this stuff and I did it anyway. That really speaks to the nature of addiction, doesn't it? Here I was helping other people eat well, improve their lifestyle. And I knew that drinking was going to impact my nutrient absorption. And I did it anyway. So yeah, B vitamins, zinc, Lots of things can become easily depleted because we're not allowing our body to do what it naturally does. We're impairing our body's natural ability to take care of us. It also can affect your gut motility. Have you guys had that issue where, not to be too graphic, but you either can't go to the bathroom or you go too much? Yeah, messes with our gut. Finally, we move on to the liver. Well, everyone has heard of alcoholic liver disease, and you might think, that's never going to happen to me. But I'm going to ask you, why? Why can't it happen to you? If you're listening to this podcast, you know that you're drinking too much. And even moderate use, which is for women, 4 drinks a week, that's moderate. Anything more is considered too much. Even moderate use can cause liver cell death. So yeah, why won't it happen to you? It absolutely can. So, I hate to bring this kind of news on you because it can sound kind of heavy and doomsday. And I hope it doesn't create feelings of shame or guilt, because we talk about that a lot in Project 90, about leaving that behind. We talk about how to feel empowered. So I'm going to tell you how to feel empowered instead of ashamed around the information I just shared. Do something about it. If you could do something about it on your own, you would have by now. Join a program, any program. If it's not ours, which I think is completely outstanding, join someone. Join a community of like-minded people and get your head around this stuff. Because guess what? The empowering part is you can do something about this. All of the things I just described can be helped by quitting drinking. I can't say to you, you absolutely will lose 22 pounds like I did, because you might lose a lot more. You might also lose less for a little while. What's going to happen is that your body is going to learn to care for itself again. You're going to support your body in its efforts instead of sabotaging. And over time, things get healed, things get better. You'll feel whole again. You won't have the need to self-medicate, to ingest all those calories, all those toxins. When people join Project 90, I ask them to take a selfie on day 1. And of course, nobody wants to share it. And I say, you don't ever have to share it. And they say, oh, I never will. Do you know what happens with almost every graduate on day 90? They share their before because they can't wait to share their after. I'm not allowed to post them because that's their story. It's not my story to share. But I do share them within the Project 90 community. It is mind-blowing. It often looks like a different person. People have cheekbones again. They have a jawline. Their stomach from the inflammation and the fat loss and the weight loss. They're not sucking in their gut. They're so much more comfortable in their skin. Their shoulders are back. They're standing tall. And speaking of skin, oh my gosh, we'll have women who come in sometimes and they go to a lot of effort when they come on the calls to look good and to be pulled together. By the end, they're so much more comfortable with themselves that they don't go to all that effort unless they feel like it for themselves, but they stop performing for other people. And their skin is so much better and so much clearer that they realize that they're naturally beautiful. Isn't that something? I run out of makeup. I mean, I have to throw away makeup because it expires, not because I go through it, because I'm pretty comfortable at age 51, just being who I am. Because yes, I do have a few fine lines. Yes, I can see some natural aging occurring, but it looks fine because my skin is glowing from the inside, not because of any cream that I've used. It's glowing. just like our members glow, because they feel happy again. They have peace. They are sleeping. They're not in constant chaos. You can't buy that in a bottle. And when I say bottle, I mean a bottle of makeup, a bottle of skincare cream, or a bottle of alcohol. You can't buy it. So I encourage you, if you want some of this, some of what we got, because I know you do, who doesn't? What a trade-off, Trade that toxin for the fountain of youth. Sign me up. Let's sign you up. Book that call with me and let's see what happens. In the meantime, thanks a lot for being here. I was on a little hiatus. I'm so happy to be back. And until next time, I'll talk to you soon. Have an awesome day.
Here are 5 ways I can support you on your health journey. Number 1, the Better AF group support. You can go to alcoholfreelifestyle.com/betteraf. That is group virtual coaching to help you to stop drinking. The YouTube channel at alcoholfreelifestyle.com/YouTube. The book, Alcohol Freedom Formula, can be found at alcoholfreelifestyle.com/guide. My liver cleanse from my supplements company, Swan Vitality, at swanvitality.com. And protect your eyes from screens by wearing a pair of Swannies blue light blocking glasses from my sleep company, Swanic Sleep. You can find that at swannies.com. Catch you on